Hi guys, welcome back. So I have a few activities here planned for you. We're going to start with a learning game. It is called Add to the Tail. So what we're going to do with this one is, I know you guys read the book yesterday, Pete the Cat, I Like My White Shoes. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you guys some questions and we're going to kind of build off of that story. So my first question for you would be, what happened in that book? Can you guys tell me anything that happened in that book? Miss Sam's going to help you along, and I'm going to ask you, what are some different things that you think Pete the Cat stepped in? He did. He stepped in blueberries. What else did he step in? Strawberries, mud, and water. Good job, guys. So my next question for you guys for this book would be, how do you think Pete the Cat dried his shoes when he went home? Because that wasn't in our book. So what do you think he did to dry his shoes? He could have used them and put them in the dryer. So he could have used a dryer. What else could he have done? That's right. He could have also sat them outside in the sun and maybe they dried that way. So there are many different ways that he probably could have dried his shoes. Good job, guys. So one last question for Pete the Cat. Did Pete cry when he stepped in all of these things? That's right, he didn't. So that was just a little review of Pete the Cat's book yesterday. So we are also going to talk about the other book that you guys should have been reading. I think Miss Samantha actually read this for you guys earlier. And it is called The Mitten. So I know you guys did these with Miss Samantha, the Mitten sequencing book. You guys should have put them all together with your pictures inside. So Miss Sam has hers. And we're going to kind of go over that story again. But for this, I'm going to ask you why the animals did not want the other animals to come in. So we'll start at the front of the book. And you guys got to try to remember why they didn't want the other animals to squeeze in the mitten with them. So we're going to start with this one. So our first one that was in the glove was a mole. So he was the first one in there. Can you guys remember who tried to go into the mitten after the mole? That's right. It was the bunny rabbit. So we have the rabbit. So why did the mole not want the rabbit to come in? He wanted the mitten to himself, probably. But why did he let him in? Why did the mole actually let the rabbit in? He saw the rabbit's big kickers. That's right. He went feet first in. And once the mole saw his kickers, he's like, nope. So he let him in. So who tried to go in after the rabbit? Do you guys remember? That's right. It was the hedgehog. So why did the mole and the rabbit leave the hedgehog in? Why were they scared of him? Because he was covered with all those prickles. Good job. So they didn't want to mess with the hedgehog, so they let him share the mitten. So who came after the hedgehog? Do you guys remember? It was the owl. Good job. So why was the mole and the rabbit and the hedgehog, why did they let the owl in? Because they saw his talons. His little feet down here. They saw what he had, so they're like, nope, we're going to let him in too. They're a little scared. So who came after the owl? I'm going to cover this one up. The badger. Good job. So why did the mole, rabbit, hedgehog, and the owl let the badger in? Because they saw his diggers. And they were like, yep, we're going to let him in. So who came in after the badger? The fox. Good job. So why did the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger let the fox in? What does a fox have that could have scared him? His shiny teeth. Good job. You guys are doing awesome with this. So who came in after the fox? The bear and then the mouse. But why did the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, the badger, and the fox put the bear in? They didn't want to mess with the bear. Would you mess with the bear? I know I wouldn't. So you guys did really good trying to remember those. Good job. So our next activity is called the Five Senses Nature Walk. It is still a little chilly and snowy outside, so Miss Sam kind of took pictures when I was out on my walk. Because you're supposed to draw what you see while you're out there. Like I said, Miss Sam was a little cold, so I took pictures, and I'm going to draw them with you in here. So my first picture, I went outside and I saw a tree. My tree doesn't have any leaves on it, so I'm going to go ahead and draw you a tree. You guys can do this too. If you guys go outside for a walk, just take pictures because it's kind of cold out there to try to draw these pictures out there. Miss Sam's going to draw a tree. It has no leaves because my tree does not have any leaves in it. All right, so here's my tree. So my next picture, when I went on my nature walk, I saw, this is kind of relative to our topic that we're talking about. See this little string here? I'm trying to figure out how to hold this without dropping it. This is called a clothesline. So Miss Sam found a clothesline on my nature walk, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a clothesline. So there's a pole that holds it up. There's a string, and there's another pole that holds it up. So here's Miss Sam's clothesline. So I got a clothesline and a tree. That's what I saw so far. My next one, you can't really see because it's kind of covered by a bush. But I found a little shed. You see that shed back here behind the trees? So Miss Sam's going to draw a shed. And if you guys go on your nature walk and you guys take pictures of things, make sure you draw them and send me pictures. I would love to see what you guys have outside your house and what you guys seen on your walks. So here's my little shed that I made. And the last thing that I saw was a car. And it was covered with snow. So Miss Sam's going to draw a car. There's lots of things outside. Miss Sam doesn't have much around her house, so I have lots of trees. There's my car. So you guys can go ahead and draw pictures of everything that you guys see on your walk, or you can draw them outside if you want to be in the cold. It's up to you. So since it was our five senses walk, I'm going to go over a few things. Our five senses are seeing, touching, hearing, smelling, and tasting. Obviously, we are not going to taste anything outside, so I didn't put that one on there. But some things that I seen on my nature walk when I was out there, I saw trees, I saw a clothesline, I saw a shed, I saw a car, and I saw some snow. Now, some things that you can touch when you're outside, I got to touch the snow, and I got to touch the tree. So you can touch different things while you're out there. Some things that I heard when I was outside, I didn't hear many, but I did hear a couple birds. And I heard a snowplow because a snowplow went up and down my road. So I got to hear a snowplow. And then smelling. So the only thing I could smell when I was out there Well, someone had a chimney burning, so I got to smell that. So there's different things you guys can see, touch, hear, smell, taste. If you guys are out on your nature walk and you guys have some things you'd like to share, please send them to us on Dojo. We'd love to see them. All right, guys, bye.